Ladies and gentlemen, filmmakers and moviegoers alike, welcome to Critically Casual. Not bad, right?
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, for no effects.
You didn't go for no effect. It sounded very effecty. So, as someone with effects, it was pretty good.
All right, but we're here. It's Critically Casual. I'm Srekcuf5. That over there is Dorkydev. How you doing, Dev?
I'm good. I'm just commenting about this probably being your best thumbnail ever made.
You like this thumbnail?
Straight up. This is the best. I like, just thematically, it just works. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You did put it in the tweet, right?
I did not put it in the tweet.
You need to put these in the tweet because it's so good. Add a reply to it and put your thumbnail on there's HQ right now.
Doing it right now. Right now. Live on stream. It's happening.
Yes.
At Dorkydev made me do this. Period. Nope. Period. No, not do this.
The little dash at Srekcuf as
Post.
who it was.
Let me put post. Dash Srekcuf. And then the picture. Or my girl. Where did I put it? Here it is. There it is.
Yeah, you need to post that because it's really good.
It's pretty good. I like it. It's pretty darn thematic, that's for sure. It was a couple of layers and a couple of extra effects I haven't used in a while, and now it's there. But yeah, hi everybody, welcome to Critically Casual. I'm Srekcuf5, that's Dev, and today we are getting anything else we want to talk about before we start talking about the show?
No.
No, all right.
I think we're good.
We're talking about Space Jam. So this week I've called it "What's Up, Ref?"
Ooh. Ooh. Oof.
How many layers is an oof, though? That's the big question.
That's a lot of oof, man. That is. There's oof under the oof there. Like, it's a lot of oof.
That's all I wanted, though. Bunch of oof.
Oh. Yeah, that was a lot of oof, man. Like, straight up.
Yeah. What's up, Ref? Yeah, we're talking about Space Jam, and then we're going into the second movie, which is Space Jam: A New Legacy. And yeah, I mean, I'm ready to talk about this stuff if you are.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, I think you're ready. You have a small mouthful, but pretty sure you're ready.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't eaten yet. I got home like 30 minutes ago. I had to throw some spaghetti in.
Mm-hmm. No worries. I mean, at some point, my dad's gonna walk in here for me with a big old bowl of salad. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm eating.
Yeah.
Nice little Caesar salad.
Yeah, mine's gonna be a nice chicken, almost Caesar salad.
Mine's a chicken Caesar with canned chicken.
Nice. Little chicken.
Okay, fuck off.
All right, let's fuck off and start talking about Space Jam then, shall we?
Which was released on November 17th, 1996. My God, my brain. With an opening U.S. and Canadian weekend of $27 million, gross U.S. and Canadian $90 million, and gross worldwide at $230 million, with a budget of only $80 million. So not bad.
Not awful, no.
Surprised it took this long for a sequel, though, because it made about 3 times the budget. And it was popular.
It was popular, yes. I'm gonna show a picture here that I think is hilarious of one of the set photos from them in the movie. That button there it is. Just, you know, how they made this movie in 1996. Isn't it beautiful?
Sounds right.
Yeah, it's just Michael Jordan and a bunch of guys in green suits. And I gotta say, even though this is just Michael Jordan and a bunch of guys in green suits, it's so nostalgic.
It's such a bad movie, but it's so nostalgic,
Yeah,
right?
it's so awfully nostalgic. Like, oh, I don't know how many times I watched this movie when I was growing up, but man, the best part about this whole thing is the soundtrack. 100%. Followed closely, followed very closely by the cartoon animation. That is pretty great. I love those two things.
I would say in a close third, the jokes.
Jokes are pretty good. There's a lot more adult jokes in here than I realized.
Dude, the fact there is a Pulp Fiction poll is hilarious now to me that I've seen Pulp Fiction. It's been a little bit since I watched it. I'm like, oh shit, there's a Pulp Fiction poll. Right.
There's a lot of jokes in this here thing that I didn't realize the first time. Some of them are pretty obvious. Like, we got balls. You sure do. But moving on and talking about other things. Beyond that, a lot of this kind of sucks. Like, Michael Jordan is no actor by any means. I don't know whose bright idea it was to make him the main actor of this movie. Like, they made a mistake. What it was? What was that?
It was a commercial, Steven.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know how this movie started?
How's that, Dev?
There was a commercial with him and Bugs Bunny showing off new shoes.
Air Jordans?
Air Jordans. And that spawned into this.
I mean, but this
You know what? This is a classic.
This is a classic. It's awful. It's bad. Especially when it comes to, like, the point of the movie, like what's happening. There's no motivation behind it.
I was already talking to my friend about it. He's like, no, this one's better. I'm like, we'll get to it, but no.
It's so strange because comparing these movies, is there a better one?
Yes. 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 Okay, don't be that guy. Don't let nostalgia, for once in your life, Steven, don't be me in this scenario. Don't let us be on opposite sides of the coin. I expect you to be on the same side as you here.
What if these are just both awful?
They're okay, like they're not the best movies. I'm gonna say this. This is not trash. Okay. Because there's entertainment to it. There's the Looney Tunes. Let's be real. You throw the Looney Tunes in something and it's got to be entertaining. Because honestly, the Looney Tunes have some of the best bits for adults and for kids. When Bugs turns into a plank of wood, an adult knows exactly why that's funny, and a kid's gonna laugh at the noise.
Sound effects. Never mind the sexy saxophone in the background.
Hey, ignore it.
Ignore the.
Also, this is the movie that introduced Lola, and she's actually really great in some of the shows that they've had, like the one of the more recent runs where they're like when Daffy and Bugs are like roommates.
I enjoyed Baby Looney Tunes, Baby Lola, when I was young.
Baby Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
It's all about a pup named Scooby-Doo. I'm sorry, that's the best child version of a show.
That is pretty darn great.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I miss Puppet News. We were gonna reminisce.
Yeah,
here for a second. Sorry.
Now I'm going like, what's this Scooby-Doo?
Coming after you.
Yeah.
We're gonna solve that mystery. Dude, what's new Scooby-Doo is so good.
But we're talking about Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny.
Wait till we do the Scoob in review at some point.
All the Scoob.
Yeah. Oh, dude, as much as I'd hate it. Do we do the VHS animated ones too?
How far back do we go?
I would love to, dude.
We go all the way back to Hanna-Barbera? Like,
oh, we got to do at least Zombie Island onward.
I could probably do that, maybe.
Oh, yes. Because then we get the Witch's Curse, and we get to see the Hex Girls.
So it's like, you gotta see the Hex Girls.
Because they're going to put a spell on you. And my God, did they influence me as an adolescent into being very much into...
Earth, wind, fire, air. Two of those are the same thing, but whatever. We may look good, but we don't care. Something like that. I don't know.
Anyways, back to Looney Tunes. Yeah, this movie's just silly, and it knows it. And like the fact that Bill Murray just shows up in this movie a couple times, I love that because it's played as that. It's 100% just that Bill Murray is in this movie just to be in this movie for a few scenes.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, I was totally fine with it in the beginning, but then at the end, where he's
it's one of my favorite parts.
It's my like I know this
it's my favorite part because of that one line. So how did you get here? I'm just friends with the director. That is such a good fourth wall break.
I hated it. I mean, it's great.
You hate fourth wall breaks.
Like, it was so funny, yes. But at the same time, I was like, why? Why is this? He's only here because it's literally a joke. But he is 100% needed to make this movie happen. What? Oh,
Steven.
Yeah.
Steven.
Even Larry Bird. I would have preferred Larry Bird instead of Bill Murray.
So no, that would have made more sense.
Exactly.
Which is why it can't happen. We need Bill Murray to show up and save the day. He's in the movie, and I love Bill Murray. All right, I'm sorry. It's one of my favorite Bill Murray moments. I don't know why, because it's what I retweeted.
Gotta ice my knees.
I retweeted the what is it? What's the line? Let me scroll down to it. Perhaps I could be of some assistance. As it zooms in on him. One of the best moments. It was like we need a fifth. As everyone's beat the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great moment.
Misery. It's just one thing I love about this movie, like both love and hate about this too, is a lot of people when they're adults they complain like this isn't a basketball movie, and because they're not really playing basketball. I mean, they kind of are, but they really aren't. And it's fun and it's adorable, but who cares? It's a kids movie. But at the same time, yeah, the kids point. Don't forget your kids point. Oh, is it a 10 out of kids point?
No,
okay, thank God.
But it's higher than I expected now.
I figured as much. Like, I keep thinking about this movie and things I want to think, like, I think about constantly. Just Michael Jordan every human looks out of place in the cartoon world. They just, the green screen and them and the lighting just don't interact right. Just
it's something that we can talk about more on the next one, I think.
Yeah. And other things that stand out for me as well are some effects are pretty poorly done. Like, the addition of the dog in this movie was really poorly done.
Oh my God.
It's just,
Jesus.
Yeah.
That dog was giant.
I never like looking back at it, like watching it then, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I love it. But watching it now, I was like, that's clearly just a dog on a green screen, very heavily enhanced with very poorly done CG. It was funny to watch the green screen dog walk on the walls like it was a 3D angle. Like, bad.
Or walk on the door.
Yeah. And then they shake it on the door while it's standing there. It was pretty darn bad. I mean, it was okay. I want to make other people watch that.
It's adorable for its time.
Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think of other things that caught my...
Because most of this budget went to animating. Let's be real.
Absolutely.
Not visual effects in that sense. Like it went to visual effects, but in the sense of the cartoons had to look good.
So this movie did give me an idea for a new emote for my own channel.
Oh.
I want to do the I want to get the big fat green, or sorry, big fat orange Monstar when he has his butt hanging out and he's flying through the air and he's like turned to the side and he has like a blushing face and he's like starting to pull down his shirt, so you just see like a little bit of butt crack. I want to turn that into me and have that be my oopsie Oopsie emote.
We'll see if they allow it,
Yeah.
Steven. Butts are very, very controversial these days.
It's just butt quack. A little bit of quack.
Still very controversial these
No, I
days.
hear you though.
We'll see. Yeah. If you haven't seen this growing up, you missed out.
Definitely
You probably
missed
won't.
out.
If you haven't seen this yet, I don't know if it's for you. Like that's also something to say. This is a generational thing. This is a millennials, early Zoomer movie.
Yes, 100%.
I feel like if you're born after 20, like you're not gonna like this movie that much.
Especially too, because you think about like one of the main conflicts in the world right now by people younger than us is equality, racial equality, and the big threat here is toon slavery, and the slavery is just stand-up comedy, which in essence is all they are already if you think about it, because they say the joke that all they will ever be is just telling the same jokes over and over again on the same stage every night. And up until about a year ago, that's all they were, because they weren't making new Looney Tunes.
I mean, true, but I mean, I think it does it in a commentary way, which actually kind of works in a way. For Looney Tunes, it works.
In a way, I guess. Sure, I'm not gonna debate you on.
It's not poking fun at it. It's just more commentary. It's a more of a commentary than it is a joke about it.
Let's see. Other things that I want to talk about. Basketball players can't act. That's for sure.
No, they can't. But I find it hilarious still, nonetheless. The scene where they all hit the door.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Brilliant
comedy.
I don't know how many times there are some scenes where a lot of the actors would stare into the camera without, like, they're not supposed to, but they're like,
oh, they just straight spike it.
Yeah, they spike the camera as they're like turning their head.
Yeah, but hey, a lot of inexperienced actors.
Trying to think anything else that needs or wants to be talked about. Oh, I watched the original Space Jam through HBO Max. I kind of feel like they cut 2 parts of the movie. Like, they felt shorter for me for some reason, based off of memory. And one of them is the conversation with Bugs and the kids at the Jordan household. I feel like that conversation was cut really short. I can't remember why.
No, it's his original runtime.
Okay. And then I can't remember what the second scene was. But my memory is fooling me.
Yeah, 100%, because it says 128 minutes. So that's counting like all the way, like rounding up. And it was like 127 and some odd seconds.
Basketball chain.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I haven't really got much else to talk about on this movie. Like, it exists. It's very much a movie that I watched a lot of.
I just realized there's black and white photos from this on IMDb.
There are.
And one of them has Bugs, Michael Jordan, and fucking Bill Murray. I'm sorry, that is now my background. Yes?
What about the black and white picture of all the Monstars and the jump ball of Michael Jordan?
I mean, it's not the same. I'm sorry.
It doesn't have Bill Murray, I get it.
No, it doesn't.
One last question I have for you, Dev, actually, before we end this. What'd you think of the post-credit scene of this movie?
Oh, it's entertaining.
Yeah. Cute and nostalgic and new aged all at the same time. They're Miami Vice. But I got nothing else really to talk about in this movie. Have you got anything else?
No, I ain't got anything else.
All right, then I'm gonna give you your popcorn kernels, Dev. How many are you gonna give the Space Jam?
I'm giving Space Jam, now with child points,
Now with your child point.
an 8.5. You see why it was low? I was just gonna give it a 7 out of nostalgia, just because fuck it. I love Looney Tunes, so I used to call Bugs Bunny Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, as a little kid, I used to walk around like my grandparents. She had a giant, like, 3-foot Bugs Bunny that I used to walk around with.
Mm-hmm.
So I would hang out with Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny, yeah. Bugs.
So, yeah, that's why it's got an 8.5. Steven, please save the score.
Funny you say that, cause
Oh fuck.
just kidding. No, it's fine. Even like before the kids point, I was gonna give it a 5.5. So with the kids point, it's getting a 6.
You know, it's funny. I thought that was gonna be your normal score.
6.5.
That works out real well.
I thought it was gonna be for a while, but like I really can't let my nostalgia temper what I think a quality movie could be, and this movie really.
That's what I'm here for, Steven. Don't worry.
Like it exists and it's pretty darn okay. It's just it gets the half point for nostalgia, you know? And then the kids point because it's a kids movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry that I almost made you spew your salad there.
That would have been funny.
That would have been live on stream.
Been pretty good.
All right, you ready for our next movie?
Yes, I'm ready for Space Jam: A New Legacy, which was released this weekend on July 18th of 2021. Oh wait, no, not July 18th. That was the 17th.
That was 2 days ago.
Sorry, this thing said 18th, so that's when it was recorded as. So that was probably like 2 days before. Listen, I don't. God, I hate how this fucking shit's set up now. It's not like. Where's the fuck's the date of the release then? Now on here, God, it's like relearning fucking any app when they update it.
USA, 16th July, 2021.
Where do you see that on here?
I literally clicked on the top.
Oh, it's up.
Yeah, very top of the page.
Okay. I scrolled too far down. That's what I did. Release date July 16th, 2021. A opening U.S. and current gross U.S. and Canadian gross of $31 million. Worldwide, $53 million.
I've got to say that visually, this movie is great.
Oh my god, dude. This movie has one of my favorite montages of any montage ever. And you know exactly what montage it is.
It's my least favorite montage of any montage ever. However,
Why?
It's amazing.
It's so perfect
It's-
for Looney Tunes and what they're doing.
It's what it is this movie, like, you know, when I saw the first movie, because I watched Space Jam and then I watched this movie, I was like,
as one would.
As one would, yes. When I watched the original Space Jam, I saw that scene where Daffy Duck kisses his own ass to be like, "We're owned by Warner Brothers." Mwah, Warner Brothers. This movie is like that scene times a million, where it's just Warner Brothers being like, "We've got this, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this, we've got."
Steven, I have a counter for you.
It's literally Ready Player One, but like the prequel set on easy where you can't die.
Steven, you remember how the first one's just a giant ad for shoes?
This one also has ads for shoes in it.
Occasionally.
There's literally a moment where he
there's
makes
one,
the
yes,
Nike
he turns into a Nike
icon.
symbol, yes, and I found that hilarious. Okay, I'm sorry.
And his
But-
smoke club was a basketball hoop.
Yes, it was funny, okay? Like the swoosh being, and I'm like, ha, Nikes. That's actually kind of funny because he wears fucking Nikes, okay? But, Steven, this is just an ad for HBO Max, and it works. I'm sorry,
It's
but
so-
it does.
Like,
But like they don't, it works because that fucking montage integrates the fucking shit on HBO Max in the most Looney Tune of fashion.
that's
Okay.
part of, like I love it and I hate it because Looney Tunes are funny and zany and creative and all that stuff and they're awesome. But at the same time, I want there to be like what if you're reusing a scene, I feel like there should be like what's the words I'm thinking of? Like um
Reason?
not quite reason, like respect almost. I almost feel like there's a lack of respect for the original properties when they sub in the Looney Tunes because it's not much of a difference. It really isn't, but they're only using those things for their previous popularity. My direct comparison when I think about this is Ready Player One and their use of The Shining. Because there's absolutely no reason why they have to have The Shining in that movie. They just have it in there because people recognize The Shining, and that's an awesome sequence in the trailer. So, I mean, it's more than that. I'm exaggerating a little bit, even though it's also a great sequence. It's like an interesting sequence in the movie. When I first watched it, it was one of my favorites. But upon rewatching it over and over again, I was like, this isn't
How many times have you seen Ready Player One?
about as many times as I've seen Aquaman.
What the fuck, Steven? You're the reason why this has a fucking giant ad for HBO Max. You know this, right?
I own the movies, man. I'm not watching them through their services. It's
I know,
fine.
but you're the reason this exists. You know that, right? The montage exists because of you.
Yes, probably. Not wrong. And I hate it.
But like, Steven, witness me. Okay.
Yes, I knew that was
all I have
that
to
was
say.
the best moment. Out of all of them, that was my favorite one.
The best thing. Also, we get to see the JLA animated universe again.
Yes,
which
you do. But I was never really into that. I'm just kidding.
Oh, go fuck yourself, sir. Arguably one of the greatest animated things ever created, and you can't say you're into it. Macho Man's here to say, get fucked. Yeah, no, we got that. Also, Granny's moment is great in there.
Granny's moment is awesome. I liked her moment. It was funny. That one was the one that came out of nowhere, but also was very foreshadowable because you think about it a little bit and you're like, yeah, it makes sense.
Also, I like them. All of the moments of the montage, there's a little Rick and Morty moment that I think is pretty funny.
Yeah, their cameo.
It's blatant as shit that it's there, but it's like, you know what? Makes sense. Because it also makes sense where everyone is in this montage. Like, they are exactly where they would be.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt.
Like, it all, yes.
Except for Tweety. Tweety's the only one who doesn't make sense. But it works for a gag.
Mm.
So...
like I said before, it just feels like they're using it because those properties are more popular than Luigi right now, and it's just to buff up the popularity of it.
Steven, none of these were in the commercials.
I get that.
But so if they wanted to do that,
well, thank you, Dad.
They would have had
salad.
to nice. They would have had to do it in their advertising. And they didn't show any of those.
This is all an ad. This is just an hour and a half long commercial.
I'm not arguing that this is an ad. I'm more saying that if they wanted to use those properties to make this more popular, that they would have had to put those in this movie's ads.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Still, I'm
not arguing that this is an ad. 100%. That is what both these movies are ads.
Yeah, this one is an ad for Warner and HBO, while that one is an ad for shoes and
Warner. The ratio flips. That one's an ad for Warner and shoes, and this one's an ad for shoes and Warner.
Like, I feel like it was less an ad for shoes in this one, but more an ad for the basketballs, because you got to see his basketball, his specific brand basketball, a lot in this movie. That's
True.
for sure. It's just, man, this movie sits almost in a similar spot for me as Teen Titans Go to the movies. And you knew where I was going to say it as soon as I started saying it.
I actually thought you were gonna say from the ad version in like with Transformers.
Okay. No, like this movie is 100% fine if you ignore how much they lean on other properties. And if you can do that, oh boy, it's funny. It has great visual storytelling. I love the effects that they used. The acting was far better in this movie than it was in the original. Don't get me wrong.
The plot was far better.
Yeah, the plot was better too. But don't get me wrong, LeBron James here is not a good actor still. He is far better than Michael Jordan. But they still have to make the joke.
Does that make him the GOAT? Who knows?
Yeah. They still have to make him they may have to make the joke that basketball players are not actors. This is not a good sounds like an awful it's literally a meta joke that they make in this movie. And there's a lot of meta jokes in this movie.
And I'm a sucker for all of them, Steven. I'm a sucker for every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. Just a sucker.
For stupid shit sometimes? Yes, 100%. And this is one of those stupid shits that I'm a sucker for.
So, thinking about other things to talk about in this movie.
The 3D animation's really good.
Hmm?
Like, if people keep doing the 3D animation that they've been doing with essentially going with the similar art style to what the original is, plus adding their own like, I don't want to say twist, but like their own version of it,
Mm-hmm.
like essentially taking what the original is and 3Difying it, like Sonic and Pokemon, then I'm all for 2D becoming 3D in its own way.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they do it in that way, because like that's what this one does. That like all of the characters feel and look like the characters would in the animation, the original animation, just 3Dified.
Yeah, the thing, like, I really do like how they look. It's like the one thing that catches my attention is fur compared to like the flesh type scenario. Because if I look specific, I'm gonna pull up my front page here again.
Are you on IMDb?
Yeah, where you can see
And
the
you're looking
Space
at that.
Jam and the trailer.
Yeah.
That trailer
Yeah.
picture there. Like, I like the way I like how Porky looks the best. To me, Porky is the best looking character, followed by Daffy. And then once you get to like the furrier, like the strands of hair stuff, those start to stand out to me. Only because they have more detail than I think they need. Like, I feel like maybe if the fuzz was a little shorter in length, like they could still have.
Did you pull it up on the stream?
No, I'm sorry. I'm explaining it for you.
Oh, okay. I have it up right now, so I see it.
Yeah. Like Porky looks great. Daffy looks great. I mean,
I'm probably the opposite, because I think Bugs looks fantastic in this, because I like that detail on there. And not to say like Porky looks bad. I think Porky looks great.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a flesh pig, which is what he's supposed to look like. In this, I think all of them look like how I would imagine them in 3D. Is the best way to put it. Wile E. Coyote looks so fucking good, by the way. It's obscene. Like, he looks just irritable as shit all the time, and there's a great gag with him with an Acme product that I just get a fucking kick out of.
I think that's my favorite gag in this whole movie, honestly, is his segment. What have I done? Probably my favorite one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Don Cheadle is very interesting in this.
Yeah. I like this character a lot. Well, I mean, I liked him a lot, but I'm not sure I actually liked Algae Rhythm himself. It, like, if I were to be taken...
God, it's such a stupid name. I love it.
Yeah. It's the laziest name they could think of. I'm the algorithm. Algae Rhythm. It's also like, they destroy...
Oh
Like,
man.
it's they destroy Warner's reputation with this movie if you really think about it. Once we get to the end there, of course, but we'll talk about that in spoilers. Like, oh god, this movie stands out for so many things for me. Don Cheadle is one of them that I like, and also don't like at the same time, only because that character is a freaking brat. It's a tantrum. That's all this is.
Yeah, pretty much. I do like how they integrated the basketball players into this one. Because they like how they integrate them into the main game, because like a lot of the animated characters who show up on the enemy team on the Goon Squad are actual basketball stars.
But are they real?
Yes, they are. So you have Sue Bird, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson, and Nika Ogwumike. I'm bad at names, and we all know this, and I'm sorry. As soon as it get past like 2 syllables, my brain go next. Mail, help. There's a long name.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
It was me. Oh, what a good show. Far better than... I'm just kidding.
I think so. I will say I like incorporating LeBron into a voice acting role for a majority of this movie, because I think it does a lot more for him than... I feel like he's better at voice acting than he is at acting,
except for when he yells. Because like those.
I think it's. I think it's very. I think it works for the animation.
Everything just works for you, Dev.
Animation wise, yes. Like straight up, I think the animation wise, this whole thing works. Part of me wishes that it was just an animated movie until the end. Like that they just went to Toon World and then they stayed Toon Mode. But we do have to 3Dify things, I guess, because we need LeBron at the end. But, and I get it because it still looks really good. And I like that version of basketball they play. And it works really, kind of. But I think the animated LeBron and him being animated in all those scenes,
it definitely helped.
It does a great job, honestly. And so for me, I really enjoy all of that. And the parts during the montage where he's like flipping between animation and not, I think is really funny because there's like a lot of good bits during that.
There's some moments in there. The best one is the Mad Max moment.
Oh, dude, that was not what I was expecting.
What it is? It's like, that was Dev's favorite moment right there. I could tell right then when it happened.
Someone posted that on Twitter being like, what the fuck is happening? And I saw someone go, oh no, this movie's just an ad for HBO Max.
That's what it is. That's all it is.
And then people got pissed off, and I'm like, he replies going, like, the first movie wasn't a giant ad for shoes. Like, come on. Like, you guys are holding that movie way too high of standard. I 100% agree, because like, you can't rip into this one without ripping into the last one through a nostalgic. Like, you got, as someone who like, I enjoy this more than I like the first one. Definitively. This is a better Space Jam movie, and it continues to make the joke: is LeBron the GOAT? Because he's better at acting, and he has a better Space Jam movie.
And you know what he does? Apparently, this is a joke that I had to watch another review to understand. He, at one point in this movie, gets a member of the enemy team to come to his side of the team, come to his team. And that's apparently a thing he does anytime he's losing to an enemy team. He goes to like their best players, like, hey, you want to join our team? Next year we'll have a championship. Apparently, that's a common thing that he does in basketball.
I mean, why not? He's LeBron. LeBron goes, hey, you're good. You want to help me win a championship here? You want to be a champion?
Hmm?
That's what he's asking. LeBron makes champions. Like he's arguably he does. How many places has he become the champion at?
I have no idea. I don't
Let me
know
pull
any
it up.
sport. I don't know sports
How
football.
many teams has LeBron won a championship with? 3. He's won with the Miami Heat, and the Cavaliers.
Well, Michael Jordan's won 6 championships.
Yeah, but he only did it on one team. LeBron's jumped teams. And he's probably going to get one with the Lakers at some point. Let's be real.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Not me. I'm not a sports person.
Michael might have more rings, but LeBron has more franchises that he's built, essentially.
I've made you popular. Made you popular. Then I went back and made you popular again. And now I've gone. Haha, it's a joke in the movie.
It's a good joke. Look out, Lakers.
It might be an advertisement, honestly. It could be his warning. Like, I don't know how much longer I'll be with
but
them.
at the same time, I think it's also... I gotta admit, he knows how to make fun of himself.
Mhm.
If he's perfectly fine with this movie, he knows how to make jokes about himself. And that's also very commendable, in my opinion. Be able to laugh at yourself in a way that, like, because he's essentially laughing on himself in the way that, as it's put, like, haters hate on him for in basketball.
Mhm.
But like, he does it in a way that, like, it's funny, it's enjoyable. Like, it turns the haters into, like, his jokes, and it kind of works.
Mhm.
I also really like the opening montage for both these movies because it shows a lot of their accolades. So yeah, we've got, like, I like Michael Jordan's because it goes through his, like, career up until him leaving basketball.
Mhm.
And this one goes through all the way up to, like, present. We hear arguably one of my favorite LeBron moments of being like, no, I will not shut up and dribble. Which, you know me, you know why I'm a fan of that moment. And it shows a lot of his accolades as someone who helps his communities that he's a part of. Which is also something really wonderful to see. Like, I think I genuinely just enjoy this more overall. I think this does a better job at being a movie by having a plot that makes sense. And there are stakes that like, they kind of show up, but the stakes, like, there's stakes, original stakes, and then there's, like, the stakes get raised,
Mhm.
which I kind of like. And there's a part that makes me emotional, even though I knew it wasn't gonna be what it said it was gonna be, but, like, it still got me. And I'm like, it's not gonna end this way, but fuck you, movie, for making me feel this way. You fucking assholes. Because I'm easily manipulated emotionally. Fuck you, movie.
You could just say easily manipulated and just stop
Go fuck yourself.
there.
And no, he didn't manipulate me into saying that. Go fuck yourself.
All right, sure. I'll let you think what you want to think.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I think the hate this movie's getting is kind of undeserved. Like, this movie's getting, like, more bombed than the first one was, and, like,
Yeah, it
I'm
definitely
sorry.
has a lower rating than the first one does. Which, Visually, this one is much better than the first one. Storytelling wise and acting wise, it's much better. It's just, or plot wise, storytelling wise, how they tell the story itself, I think, is the crux. Is because of how blatant they use other properties. That's the reason why people are so against it.
They use it for one like montage and then backdrop.
Lots of backdrop, but yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to fill the backdrop with that because, like, I think it works for the ambiance of the thing, like, of what we get. I think that works because it's not distractingly there unless it's like using a joke involving something in the audience. Like, there's a King Kong reference, and that, which is such a, that joke hits on so many different levels.
Dude,
it's a pull, it's a punch up. It's like that joke just is on, like, it's doing this, this, and this all at the same time.
when I think of most of the end of this movie and all the cameo character parts that they have, I just feel like that's a part of the part of the respect problem too, because they're all there, they're all nice, except they're not, like, they're all cosplayers pretending to be the character that they're pretending to be. For what, like, because they're not the original characters, obviously. They can't get the original actors for cameo bits and movies.
What? Did you think Arnold was gonna show up for a fucking bit as
yes,
Mr. Freeze?
Why not?
Nice to meet you.
And I part of the reason why I said earlier that this is kind of like Ready Player One is I feel like they reused parts from Ready Player One, especially the King Kong animation that they use, not the arm crossed one. But when they introduced him coming in, that was 100% a sequence that they used in the movie in Ready Player One.
It's a similar sequence.
Like, and they did that for another character, but I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head right now, and I didn't take it. So,
I think personally, if you look, like, I think you're being harder on this movie than you need to be, because I think part of it is because you've seen Ready Player One so much. I've only seen Ready Player One that one time that we reviewed it.
I mean, I'll tell you what. Tomorrow, when we're done playing Mass Effect, I'm probably going to have a really good time rewatching this movie. I'm gonna be aided by some things that'll help me open my mind up.
Things. Oh, got it.
You know,
completely legal material in
your
in the state you live in.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, that's all we need to say.
Help me be a little more casual.
Yes. I think, Steven, the problem, though, is I think you've seen Ready Player 2 1, that the nostalgia of this idea wears off. I think it works in bits. Like, with me, I've only seen Ready Player 1 the one time. This works because it feels different to me because of how they do it. Because for me, it's not the focus like it is in Ready Player 1.
This movie almost, like, really makes me think of the Animaniacs. The Animaniacs was a show that Warner Brothers did a lot of fourth wall, and
they show up for just a brief moment. I loved it. I was like, oh, it's the Animaniacs.
I mean, the Monstars showed up too at one moment. Spoilers.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I was calling out backdrop and their backdrop, so I'm allowed. I think that's allowed. I don't think the background characters are spoilers. As long as we don't ruin jokes that come from them being there. We can reference those jokes, but we can't say what those jokes are.
I mean, we could just hop into spoilers now and just talk about them.
I'd be down. How do we want to rank? There's no need to rank two movies. All right, then, Steven, I'm going to give you your popcorns.
Oh, sorry. Not full salad.
Yeah. I'm going to guess 7 after Kid Point.
Yes.
Hey. All right, then mine's a 9. Because it's more. I like this more than Space Jam. It's at least half a point better, if not more. But I don't know if I can fight for much higher than a solid, I'd be putting it in before Kid Point at an 8 or higher.
Oh, geez, really?
And it's not above an 8 for me. But Space Jam 1 is not below a 7 nostalgically for me. So that's where it is. Let's get ready to spoiler!
Get out of here, people who don't want this movie to be spoiled.
Yes.
Spoilered.
Spoilered.
Spoiled it. Spoiled.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me. That joke was fantastic. What a well executed joke. Because, like, as soon as the joke started, I'm like, I know where this is going. What a good choice of reference. Like, it's a Training Day reference, it's a King Kong reference, and King Kong is right there. Like, way to fucking just hit the way to do the rule of threes
all in one
swing. Like, also, perfect rule of threes was the Michael Jordan bit. It's brought up with Daffy, it's brought up with Lola, and then Sylvester bringing in Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, we could find Michael A. Jordan, but we got Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
I knew where that was gonna go as soon as Sylvester's like, I found Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I was like,
it's gonna be Michael B. Jordan, and I love every second of this.
Yeah. What if Looney Tunes is canon in Marvel Universe?
Well, I mean, all right. Implication here is the DC universe is inside the Warner Brothers serververse. Does that mean every single DC property can technically intertwine with Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo,
Well,
Dexter's Laboratory?
Well, yeah.
Like, sorry, but that just, the implications are fantastic.
I do find that the one thing that's kind of interesting is they did the Star Trek reference that they had, a very heavy Star Trek reference. But that one was interesting to me because it's not owned by Warner, it's owned by Paramount. So they probably had to pay a decent amount of, either they got really lucky.
That's going, a reference, and you don't
just
have
referencing. To... Yeah, they may have managed to reference and just reference enough to not get in trouble.
They don't own Stardate.
Stardate. They own Stargate. I'm just kidding.
Actually, who does own a Stargate? Who owns Sci-Fi Channel? Because that's your answer right there. You can figure it out. You can backtrack from there. All right. Let's get to the point of contention then. The montage. We both agree that the Mad Max moment with Witness Me and Wile E. Coyote putting up the sign.
Yeah.
Witness!
Witness! Yeah. It was the best part. It was the one that felt most natural to me.
And then him landing on the vehicle and LeBron having a pink goddamn mohawk. This guy, he's explosive. Also, the JLA bit before, I loved. When you had Superman pull up. I did it. I masterminded this entire thing. The pig did it.
Yeah, Justice League. And then we also got to see the comic book version with Lola Bunny at the end.
I thought that was pretty good. You had the riff, one of the greatest superhero riffs ever. I love the Wonder Woman theme, all right? I can't sing it because it's so unique. And
we had think of the Game of Thrones reference with freaking what's his name? I can't remember right now.
God, the one that I can never remember his name. Oh God. Might as well be. Hold on, I'm gonna find it here. Foghorn Leghorn.
Foghorn Leghorn. Like, I love the Game of Thrones reference with him.
I say winter I say is coming. With long blonde fucking hair.
I like the Harry Potter reference. That was entertaining.
Harry Potter world. I'm a Hufflepuff. I knew it. Give me 1 second. I need to grab my med for a second.
Oh, damn.
I know. I'll be 2 seconds.
It's all right. This is the moment where I could talk about how much this movie actually sucks. Because, like I said, they don't respect where they're getting the sources from. It's just a callback to make a funny joke, and it's just a series of these over and over and over and over.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Oh my. Oh good. Oh God. You hear me for most of that?
No, I heard you once you got back into the door.
Oh, damn it. God, my noise gate's really good.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Oh God. Gee.
I loved the Matrix reference as well with Speedy and Granny.
That one felt the most out of place to me.
I don't feel that way because Speedy makes sense to be in the Matrix. Let's be real.
I mean, yeah, he's the one who can move the fastest and dodge the bullets, I guess, technically, but...
And Granny's the least likely to be there, which is what makes it funny to me.
Granny's a freaking alcoholic in this.
Yeah.
I don't remember that in the original Looney Tunes.
She's a bit. There's a little. She likes a little bit of those martinis.
Probably, yeah. I just don't remember it.
What I loved about the Matrix bit, though, was when she kicks someone through the wall. They do the...
Yeah, the pose.
And I love that. That's such a good call on that. And then when Bugs and LeBron break in, Bugs breaks through with a pose, and LeBron just fucking biffs it through a window. And part of me wonders if they did that, if that was on purpose or that was an accident. They're like, we're just gonna go with that.
And then they call it back up later on at the end of the movie where she stands there against Kronos and does a stop, and then blah, 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 and she's like, "He is the chosen one."
She is the chosen one. That was so good. Because you have Speedy going like, "Neo ain't got nothing on me." As he runs across the fucking roof perfectly, upside down, as Speedy does. And then her doing that whole thing, and Kronos was arguably the most interesting of them, and I like how they beat him. I do feel it's a little cheap that Algae gets to cheat at the end more than ever.
Just, rewinds time and the score.
Yeah, especially after Wile E. Coyote came up with the greatest invention ever.
Yeah, the freaking acne duplicator, whatever it was called.
Yeah. Like 17 Wile E. Coyotes scored.
Plus 64 Wile E. Coyotes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And I only remember that because I had to double check to make sure it wasn't 69. Dyslexia. Like,
someone thought about it.
Yes.
It should have been 68. And one just hits the backboard and falls. And misses. 68
and miss. Nice.
We know what you were saying.
Probably, yeah, would have been better, I think.
That's such a good moment, though. What have I done?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments in this, and I don't know if it's because the whole like multiple versions of yourself joke or not. I don't know.
Did Steven fall into a Acme duplicator? Find out next time on Srekcuf5.
I would love to have that be a part of my channel. How was it all created? Because I never got into that. They just appeared one episode, which is true.
What do you mean episode? They're really like in the background right now, probably like helping run the stream and stuff, right?
Why do you think I keep the screen up at all times?
This would be hilarious if a hand like went.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. There is no man behind the curtain.
Steven just green screens a green screen behind him. There's really a lot of stuff going on behind him that I can see that you can't.
Absolutely. What have we done?
A lot. The Rick and Morty bit I thought was the most forced, but also one of the funniest. You can have your gerbil or whatever back.
Turns out whatever happened to him was irreversible, which lots of questions.
Yeah, the things I've seen. Your problem now, dum-dums.
That was like what? Who? What? Why? What was it though? Other things that I thought was interesting. The names of the characters, the Goon Squad. Like Kronos makes sense. He does time stuff. Arak NECA because it's the basketball
They're
player.
they're all based off of like terms for those basketball players.
Yeah, so that would make sense. Don't yeah, wet fire because he's made of water, but you know, fire when he's on the court.
Yeah.
And then the brow because he has a unibrow. And then White Mamba. I don't get that one at all. Snake.
Because
You can't trust her. She's a
no,
snake.
well, it's like because Kobe was Black Mamba.
All right.
So it's based off of like movement, essentially. Like essentially they're able to like they slither through. Like they are able to they are good at evading through people.
I wish though we got to see more of what was her name? Sonika Martin Green. She's the wife. He is in Star Trek Discovery as Michael Burnham.
Yes.
Great actress, but doesn't do much in this movie. It's not her movie, so it makes sense. It's LeBron.
She was also in Walking Dead for a while.
She was also in Once Upon a Time. And let me pull. Actually, yeah. But I don't know what else was she in. She did the voice of the Green Ghost in Invincible.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Isn't IMDb amazing?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, this movie...
That's a character in the Fast and Furious franchise. Video game.
Let's not worry about that franchise right now. We need to wait until we get the next movie, alright? I'm not gonna worry about the side shit. Except for maybe the video game. I'll worry about that.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I think also I did like the choice of one Steven Yeun and Sarah Silverman as Warner Brother executives. I think was a really funny little poll.
Oh, that reminds me. So this movie ends with Algae Rhythm being posterized and essentially destroyed, very similar to Superman and
Zod.
Zod, yeah.
Yeah.
Very similar. But the thing that catches my attention is this movie essentially says that algae rhythm, is what creates most of, or at least some of what Warner Brother creates today. Like the algorithm, is what creates movies nowadays. And now the algorithm is destroyed, so now Warner's not going to have any good movies. Like Warner's literally just been like, we have shitty movies because of it's the algorithm's fault. Oh yeah, we got rid of it now. Things will be fine.
What did you think of our very contrasting announcers with Ernie Johnson, with little Rel Howery? Like those two.
They were a clash, that's for sure.
It was fucking good though. Like
they were a good combination together, but wow.
I felt the bit with LeBron not like breaking to actually play basketball went on a little longer than it needed to. The first half of the game essentially felt too long.
Yeah, the first half and the second half are completely different paces.
Yes, the second half feels so much better, and I think the first half just like in hindsight runs a little long because it feels like it takes too long for LeBron to realize that like it's not just the fundamentals.
It's about having fun.
Well, it's not just that. It's that like you play to your strengths, which is what that team was doing and wiping them.
They were being loony.
They weren't being loony. They were being goony. The loonies weren't being loony until the second half.
Yeah, which I did think that was an interesting story, where you can't force yourself onto other people. You got to let them be themselves. It was a nice little cute storyline. But I feel like that somebody, him specifically, wouldn't be that kind of person. Like, I mean, I don't know LeBron James in person.
Well, maybe it could also be something that he's personally learned over time
Over time,
with
maybe.
his, like, yeah, like he, like, maybe this is like a more personal story in that way too, potentially. We don't know him personally, so we can't ask. LeBron, if you want to add us after this and let us know, that'd be great. Um, whether or not this is from like personal experience or not, like you actually growing as a person or not, because I'd find that really interesting.
Yeah, is this like
Because we have that kind of poll, right?
yeah, is this like Shia LaBeouf and Peanut Butter Falcon, where it's a
Oh,
story
let's
from your
not compare him to
childhood?
Shia LaBeouf.
Eh.
Let's come on. Not the person. That does not help here.
I'm not
We're gonna cut
comparing
the
him
clip.
directly. I'm just it's is this a similar situation where you wanted to tell a story about your own childhood, but through a different lens?
It's just still not a person we should. Same sentence.
Why have they fought on the internet?
No, it's just Shia's done some not good things that have come to light.
Everybody
Or
has done
allegations.
something awful. Including
Yeah,
you,
but,
Dev.
like-
You've done something awful. I don't know what, but it'll surface eventually. We'll find the bodies in your closet.
How do you know about that?
Your roommate's Mikey. What do you expect? That was a.
You don't know those are his.
They're probably yours.
No. Now hold up. I ain't taking the fall for him. Yeah, I mean, oh god, I had something else I was gonna add. What was it? I've lost it.
Lost.
I lost it. Oh, there it is. What did you think of the Notorious P.I.G.?
The rap battle. It came out of fucking nowhere, but it was funny. Like,
You know what it reminds me of?
Hmm.
Cleveland show.
The Cleveland. I could see that. Yeah.
When
100%.
Cleveland Jr. does his A B C D E F G.
Next time you won't fuck with
Fuck
me.
with me.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. So it reminded me of that moment a little bit. So
I
I
like
thought it was really good.
like I thought it was fun. It was Looney Tunes. It was completely out of nowhere. It made no sense to the story or what it was, but hey, they got points for it, and that's all that matters in the context of the story. It wasn't even a basketball game, it was a rap battle.
Yep.
Well, I do think it's kind of silly that the one real basketball move is what breaks the not real basketball game.
Yeah, I find that funny. The
That-
fundamentals break the game.
Yeah. It's my main move, man. It's my fundamental. You
Which,
know.
by the way, fuck you, movie, for making me like feel like Bugs is gonna die. I know he wasn't gonna die,
Yeah.
but fuck you for even like
Like, what was
making me think that.
I almost was upset about them putting that in the movie. Like, if they, I didn't want that there, really. Like,
You know how? Okay, I know how we make this better.
Hmm.
We do that bit where he turns into an angel and floats up.
that would make more sense, yeah.
And then the light flashes, and he just falls into his body again.
Yeah, I mean, it's normal. Yeah, that would have been fine. But the problem is, I think LeBron James needed to be there for that moment. But he pieces
Yes,
out
I
before
agree.
he finds out Bugs. Like, part of that's fine because that was a weird part of the story was the redemption arc for Bugs Bunny because Bugs was lonely and selfish, trying to get his friends back, and then he decides to take one for the team and save his friend from dying.
Which I didn't expect that. I didn't expect Bugs to be like, oh man, I've been like, I wasn't looking at it originally as him being selfish, and then I kind of thought about it. I'm like, oh yeah, he is kind of being selfish because he's
Mhm.
using LeBron to get his
family.
friends back, but
They just needed the
LeBron's
Fast
trying
and
to get
Furious
his family
references.
back. The fuck?
Yeah, there were parallels in the story in some way, but between the two of them, that's for sure. But
Again, why this is a better movie. I don't know why people are getting so fucking butt hurt. Anyways,
good and it's bad.
It's a better movie.
It's a more modernized it's a modernized version of a terrible film. How about that? They're both
I
terrible.
can accept that. So it's a better movie.
Yes, it's modern.
Better. Steven, I need you to say it.
A little visually better. I gave it half a point better.
All right, there we go. That's all I needed you to definitively say. All right, that's a wrap, folks.
Yeah, I haven't really got much else to talk about. Just watch this movie. It's funny. It's fine.
It's funny.
It's worth it.
Yes, especially if you've got HBO Max, just watch it.
Yeah, it's free and it's new. Watch other things.
All right.
All right. News. Ready? Yeah, you're getting better at it.
Yeah, it's a little bit faster paced now. Look at that. I'm getting it down. Eventually, I won't need the card.
Yeah,
I'll know how to spell news, and I'll know how to do SOS, and then I'll know how to do news.
That's all you need to know.
I can do SOS news.
Emergency news. Emergency news.
All right. Do you have much?
Only thing that I wanted to talk about news-wise is Loki.
Oh my god!
That show has ended. It was great. You should all watch it. It is probably still my favorite series that Marvel has done.
It is the best thing Disney Plus has come out with.
Yes. Disney Plus by far, 100%. And I especially love the outcome of the story. Though I'm still frustrated with the internet, and kind of you partially in a way too, because I've been asking people and the internet, and I've been watching videos for like the last 3 days, and I've been like,
and okay, can we'll talk after the stream.
Sure, but I'm gonna throw this question out there still. You don't have to answer it now. We don't have to discuss this stuff because it'll run long. I know it will. But what I'm frustrated about is I've been wanting to know. Fucking microphone here. Here we go. Okay. I've been wanting to know why Kang is such a bigger threat than Thanos. And I understand, or should I say more specifically, how he is a bigger threat. Because I know he is a bigger threat because there's an infinite amount of multiverses of him and he'll constantly be coming back. And I know that in the history of the comic books, two Kangs fighting each other has destroyed timelines altogether. But the question I still have is, how? Like, I know he's super smart, but no one tells me the technology he has. The powers that he has because of the technology.
Because it changes. He's a fluid character. And I wouldn't necessarily say he's a bigger threat than Thanos. They're on even playing fields. Like, on levels of, threats in the Marvel comics, who I would put on similar planes. You have Thanos, Galactus, Kang, Apocalypse.
But it makes me think that, based on the context of what's going on in, Kang's story, is there's one Kang who, at least in the context of the MCU, there's one ultimate ruler Kang in the end. And because time is cyclical in its own fun, weird ways. But that makes me think, just by default, that Kang, at least, was more powerful than Thanos in all the different timeline versions of him, and Galactus and all the different timeline versions of Galactus. And
well, the thing is, he exists he's from a point when they wouldn't exist, if that makes sense. Like, Thanos has a finite amount of time on the universe. Galactus has a finite amount of time in the universe, either by being killed by something or just dying out. While Kang, because of what he is
infinite.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other thing about it is that, Kang is a bigger threat because of the Council of Kangs, if we actually go that route. This is going to be a long discussion. I'd rather do it on the post stream.
I hear you.
When we play Minecraft.
Yeah. That's why, yeah. But still.
But essentially, the people saying he's a bigger threat than Thanos are wrong. He's on par, because there are certain, I would put the King in Black. I can't remember his name, but the Venom god. All those guys are kind of on that same playing field of being you need everyone to help beat him. You need everyone to come together to work together and beat him, kind of thing. Because there's a scene in like Avengers, the animated show from like late 2000s, where like it takes everyone working together to beat Kang because Kang knows how shit's going to go down. So you need to essentially work in a way that like is unpredictable, which is why Deadpool entering the MCU is one of the best things that can happen.
That means because Kang can't read Deadpool.
Well, he has less chances because Deadpool has such a variety of things he could do at every second.
He can literally tear the page of the comic book, and then Kang never existed there to begin with. Oh.
Yeah, like he could do shit like that. Now Kang can see where it might go and be able to avoid it, but it'll push Kang's ability further. Essentially, like he can out Taskmaster. Actually, having Taskmaster too might help too. Stuff like that. Like there's stuff set up that we can see how this goes. I'm really curious to see what they do with Kang.
Okay, I am too. The only other thing I wanted to talk about real fast is Black Widow, because according to many different sites, websites, but the two that I could see right away
You gotta be box office numbers?
Yep. Black Widow's suffered the worst box office drop in MCU history, and movie theaters are blaming Disney Plus. They think it's instant access to the online video.
Yes, for families, but like for you and me, it makes more sense to go to theaters. Like it's exactly what we predicted. Families aren't going to go to these movies if it's cheaper for them to go to Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, a movie ticket costs like what? $9 on average throughout the entire US?
Yeah, minimum like $9.
Yeah.
So you find it cheaper than that, you're in like a place where you should move, start a family, because matinees will be like $5, and then in which case you could just take your kids to an early matinee and it'd be like $3 per kid. Anyways,
a bunch of kids, $50, movies, popcorn's covered.
Yep, pretty much.
But it's like a family of 3 is spending almost $30 on movie tickets, not talking about concessions or anything. So
those kids are going to want soda and popcorn.
God, going to see Black Widow in theaters, there was a lot of kids screaming for soda and popcorn and candy. And the one kid specifically wanted not the box of Sour Patch Kids. He wanted the big bag of Sour Patch Kids.
They don't sell that.
No, but it was on display, so he had to have it.
God damn them having displays of that shit. Why would you do that? You know what's gonna happen. Part of me kind of missed it though, not gonna lie. Me and my friends got to the theater that week, and like I saw the rush at the concessions. I'm like,
I
missed that. Wish I went VIP, but I missed that. I didn't get any concessions. I went, fuck that shit. I ain't waiting.
It was good times though. I did miss the movie theater. It's nice to go back there.
Which, I mean, we're gonna go next week.
Are we? For
Yeah.
what movies, Dev?
Well, before we go to the theater, we're probably gonna watch G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra, G.I. Joe: Retaliation, and then at the theaters, we're gonna watch Snake Eyes: G.I. Joe: Origin.
Or should we go watch that first and then?
I don't know. Steven, I don't think it matters.
I don't think so either. I just think I'm kind of slowly going towards the idea of you just need to watch them based off of how they released in theaters.
I agree.
Doesn't matter what franchise it is. Go off of how it was released in theaters.
There are some exceptions. Like I might watch like Rogue One before watching A New Hope, because that one just feels like such a good lead into A New Hope.
That one could work, actually, yeah.
Because anytime I watch that, I immediately want to watch the original trilogy.
And you get to see Ghost and Chopper.
Yeah, dude. But like Transformers or Marvel's a weird one, because some of them you could watch that chronologically or theatrical, and it's not going to make a ton of difference.
Marvel, it's not going to make the biggest difference now. But I would probably still stick to theater or like yeah, theater release. If I were to show it to like my own children, that way they could not get their expectations up of like seeing the graphics and visual storytelling of Captain Marvel and then going to see the original Iron Man.
Yeah, I think first time through it's got to be that way, and then second time through you can do chronological.
Yeah. Once you've seen all 40 films in 8 years, kids, like I said in the last week's.
Shut up. You know, we'll like every single one of them. You know, you'll sit there and be like, I hate that I enjoyed this movie.
I mean, I don't have to own them now that they're on Disney Plus. I'm just kidding.
I'm still gonna buy them because I have that shelf. I have a shelf
really
literally
should.
on the other side of this wall.
You should always buy a physical copy of something you love, because if it's digital, it's licensed and they could take it away from you at any time.
Yep. That's why I buy my physical copies of Marvel and Star Wars. Even if I hate some of the Star Wars movies, I own them. It took me literally a year to get Rise of Skywalker, by the way.
Did it really? Wow.
It really did. It took Christmas time and it being on sale and me going like, fuck it, I'll buy it.
One of the things I've talked about to my dad too is I actually kind of missed like seeing a movie that I think my dad would like and then coming home with it in DVD or like DVD form and be like, here, you should watch this. This is for you. Like, I enjoyed surprising my dad with movies. He does like watching movies too, so I can do that now. New movies are coming out.
Yeah, true.
Oh. I mean,
I have a lot on the list.
I haven't got much else to talk about. Have you got anything else?
I ain't got nothing else.
All right. We out of here then, I guess.
All right.
All right. So, like, comment, subscribe, read the bell, leave a review, all that fun stuff. You're awesome. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next week for live action G.I. Joe.
Yep.
All right.
And that's the mower you know.
Right bell, here we go.
No, that's a fucking pull. That's a G.I. Joe pull.
The more you know.
Fuck?
But it rhymes, so it goes into what happened.
Fucking cut to black.
I just cut the stream altogether.